Ever wondered what makes TV so powerful in Jamaica? Time to find out. Welcome to Global TV Group 358, where television meets innovation. We're not just about shows, we're about shaping society. In Jamaica, TV keeps you informed, connects diverse voices, and supports democracy. Imagine a Jamaica where broadcasters unite, sharing data and collaborating globally. That's us, a unified voice in the TV industry. Did you know TV advertising is still king? It drives website traffic, boosts brand equity, and powers integrated campaigns. Even in an age of digital, TV stands strong, resilient in tough times. Our Global TV Deck is your treasure trove of insights and data. With charts, graphs, and success stories, it's your guide to impactful TV advertising. Curious to learn more? Visit our website and see how Global TV Group 358 keeps television at the heart of entertainment in Jamaica. Get ready to binge watch the future.
Corruption is a vile disease that sucks and drains the health out of something good. Corruption in society is an evil moral infection that keeps community in the state of perpetual sickness. Corruption is a moral virus. It's so potent, it leaves its host sick, lethargic, and unable to realize and accomplish all that a well person can. Where corruption thrives, poverty and not prosperity thrives. Wealth is grabbed into the greedy, grubby hands of those who get fat on the toil and labor of good people. Corruption benefits only temporarily those who participate in it. Everyone else is a victim of the theft, the deceit, the dishonesty, and the lies that corruption feeds on. You need to know that a corrupt person is stealing from you. Corruption is filthy work and despicable acts of treachery done under the table and behind closed doors. Corruption is a disgusting shame. Corruption keeps a nation back from true development and from progress. Wise investors steer clear of a corrupt environment. They would rather put their resources into a place where the playing field of opportunity is equal for all and not bent towards feeding the financial lust of corrupt, lying, cheating, thieving politicians and government officials. How many wonderful development projects have been lost because the investors didn't want to do business in a swamp of evil? When those great projects go to another nation or to some other place, we all lose. Believe me when I tell you that corruption steals from you, it steals from all of us. Corruption plunders the nation's wealth. Corrupt people compromise on truth, equity, and fairness, choosing instead to feed off the short-term benefits of crookedness, exploitation, and financial perversion. Corruption is not just a personal matter, it's a culture. It's a way of life, not just for individual people, but for companies, communities, governments, and nations. Corrupt nations, hiding behind large companies, will seek to invest in other weak nations in order to take over the assets of the nation that they've invested into. They will provide financial loans to a nation for the much-needed infrastructure, and they will do it with assets that they provide. They will sign contracts by lining the pockets of rotten government officials who participate in this kind of corruption and are then held hostage by their own deceit and greed. Corruption is nothing less than a form of theft and national robbery. A corrupt person steals from everyone in society.
Ghetto, run, keep going on, less process. For children of Israel who really love rights. So just try and I say watch a man around Babylonian walls. Oh, children of Israel. I she never hold thy peace. What wrong is going on? Hey, oh, we gotta bust down Babylon walls. Prepare and read the way. Prepare and read the way for your people. Let's go. Fight down war crime. Fight down. Me say Rastafari. War and crime. And do the righteousness. Hey, we love. And we love Jaja.
Jah Rastafari.
And we love Jaja.
Jah Rastafari. Save all people.
And we love Jaja. We love Jaja.
Jah Rastafari.
We love Jaja.
Jah Rastafari. Preserve all people.
Put time away again. Listen.
Yeah.
Just as I and I as a watchman, I run Babylonian walls. Oh, children of Israel. I should never hold thy peace, while we penalize day or night. We gonna bust down Babylon gates, prepare a window way, prepare a window way for Jah Rastafari. Fight down war and
Fight down war and crime.
Rastafari, war and crime, and build up righteousness. And we love Jah, and we love Jah,
Jah Rastafari.
and we love Jah,
Jah Rastafari. Preserve all
and we love Jah. Me love Jah,
Jah Rastafari.
me love Jah,
Jah Rastafari. Preserve all.
me love Jah.
Jah Rastafari.
Jah
Jah
Rastafari,
Rastafari.
Jah.
Rastafari.
Yeah, the next song is going to be the last song for tonight, and then DJ Twink.
If not for the sub-degree temperature in Minnesota, Minneapolis, I do believe this morning Minnesota would be on fire. But for the provocation of Donald Trump and his illegal Gestapos who are going around killing with impunity. This is what our government in Jamaica is tied to. Our government, via our health care and via the Ministry of National Security and the Ministry of Agriculture, is also killing Jamaicans with impunity. Good morning and welcome. We are back in the trenches this morning, and we are asking this morning, where did the money go? And why is it that Jamaicans decide to die in silence rather than go down in rage and glory? To my community of party and all my family members, platform moderators, membership holders, viewers, subscribers, commenters, and trolls, good morning, welcome. Thank you for joining us. It's Monday, the 26th of January, almost but gone. The northern states of North America is blanketed under snow. You really don't want to see what Miami, New York, and all of that. I think Minnesota is like minus 20 something at the moment. That though doesn't stop the people from being out protesting against Donald Trump's barbarity. Morning, everyone. Honor, welcome. Thank you all for joining us. Laverne, Robert, good morning. Lynette Jenkins, Violet Watson, Miranda Ruddock, Audine Henry, Barbara Simpson, good morning. Lawrence Michaels, Charlotte Graham, good morning. Joan Genius, good morning. Miranda Ruddock, Karen Namad, Marcia Gale, good morning, everyone. Welcome. Like and share the live for us, please. Ralston Henry, morning. We're asking about the money this morning because we have follow-up questions for Floyd Green this morning. We're also going back into my community party to see the condition still exists and for some deteriorating. As well as I will tell you about what I think is a little mind game that Floyd Green is playing with the community. Backwards help sometimes doesn't seem helpful, is it, Mr. Green, you know you who's walking around texting and suing people. Floyd, yeah, that one. Let's go to parity first. No, let's go to United Oil and Gas. Jamaica, it's coming, you know. Sheena Kelly, morning. It is coming. There's the Gleaner article where I don't know if I feel so ready this morning. But there's a Gleaner article in relation to the whole island gas galangin. Even though our governments, Raymond, how you do? Even though our government, I don't even know if I can read the whole thing, I don't even feel the ready spirit this morning. But we're gonna see what we can do. Vessel offshore Jamaica to test barrel oil prospect this week. Hold on, let me turn up the scenting the brightness so I can see. A research vessel departed Trinidad last week, and bound for Jamaica to conduct seabed survey starting this week amid at confirming whether oil-like substance detected beneath the island water or commercial viable crude. That's the crude oil they're talking about. This survey represents a key milestone in advancing our Jamaica exploration program, says Brian Larkin. Brian Larkin is the CEO of United Oil and Gas. The result will play a central role in de-risking the license and information and informing future strategic decision as we continue to unlock the potential value of over 7.1 billion barrels of unrisked protective resources. Why are they forcing the unrisked in this recent release? I don't know. Myra. Morning. Gloria, how you do? Evan, how you do? Darrell Vaz need to explain something to Jamaicans. So even though Darrell Vaz say, I would be the first to tell you. I would be the first to tell you if something goes up. We need to ask questions, Jamaica. You understand why they hate vloggers? You understand why these Labour potters are always at us? We need to ask questions. Things are going on around us that if we don't go on the same thing there, the United Island Gas website, Jamaica is not releasing any of this information because Gleaner would have to go on United Island Gas website to see the recent release from United Oil and Gas. Why is the Jamaica government and the Ministry of mining, energy, and all sorts, none of them are saying anything? Floyd Green and Darrell Vaz. Floyd Green and Darrell Vaz need to explain to Jamaica what on earth they have signed up to and what are the risks to us. Because I'm sure some of them have come at the Calibre zone and the Pedro Bank. We didn't just smash we down at St. Elizabeth. So why aren't we asking questions? Why are we so silent, Jamaica? Why are we prepared to go cap in hand? For nothing. May I add? Continue reading. The UK-based United Oil and Gas PLC said on Tuesday that RV, whatever name, gear operated by TDI Brooks International was expected to reach Kingston in 5 to 6 days. and begin offshore operation around January 27th, which will be tomorrow. The survey will use seabed coring and heat flow measurement to test for thermogenic hydrocarbon evidence of an active petroleum system. Pardon me with the reading there. I'm gonna feel dunce this morning. Jamaica has attracted petroleum interest for years based on seismic data suggesting substantial hydrocarbon deposit offshore. Previous survey identified oil-like substance, but confirmation requires analysis of the seabed sample to determine whether the material represents crude or non-petroleum hydrocarbons. The current survey differs from Explore Drilling. We not care because it's still a go lead to the Explore Drilling we put way at risk. So we not care which it be. The problem is, why is nobody having this conversation with us? Why is nobody having the environmental conversation with us? Why is nobody talking to us about the risk that involves all of this? Where Darrell Vaza said no go so. The current survey differs from exploratory drilling, which would require upward of 30 million US in capital that United Island Gas lack. That's why United Island Gas a walk and raise money. I run a Ponzi scheme for raise money for continue in this because them resources are dry up everywhere else. So Jamaica is the new target. The London listed company is seeking partnership to fund eventual drilling operations. The seabed survey, while less expensive, aimed to reduce drilling risk by confirming hydrocarbon presence before committing to costlier exploration wells. The vessel will first conduct multi-beam echo sound survey to map seabed features, followed by heat flow measurement and poison coring operation. Scientists will target, I'm sure, Fifth Element will analyze this. She understands the scientific things. So when she put out a video on this, because I'm sure she's going to analyze this because she has her eyes on all of this. So I'm sure she's going to analyze the latest release. I hope to see or hear something from her today because she can analyze this whole scientific and environmental aspect, which I really don't have that understanding of. So I'm waiting for her to put out some broadcasts today. Scientists will target seafloor depressions and pockmarks, features associated with hydrocarbon seepage, some extending several hundred meters in diameters. Core samples will be shipped to the TDI Brooks United States Laboratory for analysis. Preliminary results are expected 1 to 2 months after fieldwork concluded, with analysis around mid-2026. The survey focused on the Walton Morant license zone, which stretched along the entire southern coast of Jamaica. The Walton Morant license include what we southern Jamaicans know as Pedra Bank, Walton Bank, and Abina Hoyodo, Walton Bank, South Bank, Pedra Bank, and all of those rocks along the southern coast of Jamaica. So this is what me tell you this morning. So prepare yourself for an earthquake, because after them do this survey, they are going to commit themselves to drilling. Remember, in 2024, their license were extended up until this year. So why Brian started this now is to keep the license alive, to give them more extended time. Even though Brian Larkin and United Oil and Gas lack the financial resources to come kill we off down there where Andrew sold us out. He's gathering the money to make sure them carry out them decimation. The southern section of Jamaica, Melissa was just the start. Melissa, Southwest Jamaica, Melissa was just the start. Open your eyes. Keep focus. There is a lot, awful lot more to come. Ask the people of Nigeria and the Niger Delta if the oil benefits them. There's an awful lot more to come. Hey, surrender or oil, or be picked out of your bed like Maduro. Which do you choose, Prime Minister? Surrender or country, Prime Minister, or be picked out of your bed, crack of dawn. Which does Andrew Holness choose? I mean, I don't think we should ask that question because it's rhetorical, is it not, Prime Minister? We are here asking ourselves rhetorical question. Andrew has already made his choice. Andrew has surrendered to the beast. Now, the Gleaner wrote an article last week, which I didn't read for you. I told you, try and go read that editorial for yourself, where Gleaner was saying to the people of the Caribbean, you should want to hear what Mark Carney, the former governor of the Bank of England and now Prime Minister of Canada, said at Davos, at the World Economic Forum. You would want to hear Mark Carney. But I like when white people say these things, you see. I like when high, powerful, and mighty people say these things. Because when Kukudulali, like me, telling us that international law doesn't exist, it is all a useful game. Some would have a laugh at me. What on earth is he talking about? Why are him one no say international law don't exist? But let the Prime Minister of Canada tells you about the international rules-based order. And if you listen to the Prime Minister of Canada and you critically analyze what the Prime Minister of Canada is saying to you, you then would want to ask yourself the question, where is Andrew Holness leading us? What on earth is this new love affair with Andrew Holness and those ungodly so-and-sos? Those very ungodly so-and-sos who have ordered their illegal Gestapos to be shooting down their own white citizens, white people. Don't you see you're not protected anymore? The veil is lifted. Hmm? The veil is lifted. White people, come on board. Come on board, white people. Liberals, Republicans, and Democrats, come on board. We have been telling you about this for quite some time. Isn't it up in your face? The useful fool that you have elected as a president has opened America as a can. You've lost your protection. The protection of white supremacy, white people. You have lost it. The protection of powerful and wealthy people does not draw you, working class, middle class, white people, into that net. Come on board. You say, hold on with Otia, attack, Anaguan. I don't know, up the like, unprotected. Who is Donald Trump shooting down now? Come on board, white people. Come on board. There's a revolution to fight in this world. Come on board. Listen to Mark Carney and judge for yourself. Ask yourself, where Andrew Holness sign up with? What's the new love affair about? And where on earth is he leading us when everybody else is trying to run far as they can from the rogue state America? Or have our prime minister been surrendered? Let me ask you the question, Andrew Holness. Is Dr. Chang really ill, or is Dr. Chang under house arrest by the Americans? I don't know. I'm just asking because nothing is clear in our country for sure.
We knew the story of the international rules-based order was partially false, that the strongest would exempt themselves when convenient, that trade rules were enforced asymmetrically.
And this was Mark Carney attacking Donald Trump at Davos.
We knew the story of the international rules-based order was partially false, that the strongest would exempt themselves when convenient, that trade rules were enforced asymmetrically. And we knew that international law applied with varying rigor depending on the identity of the accused or the victim. This fiction was useful. And American hegemony in particular helped provide public goods, open sea lanes, a stable financial system, collective security, and support for frameworks for resolving disputes. So we placed the sign in the window. We participated in the rituals, and we largely avoided calling out the gaps between rhetoric and reality. This bargain no longer works. Let me be direct. We are in the midst of a rupture, not a transition. Over the past 2 decades, a series of crises in finance, health, energy, and geopolitics have laid bare the risks of extreme global integration. But more recently, great powers have begun using economic integration as weapons. Tariffs as leverage, financial infrastructure as coercion, supply chains as vulnerabilities to be exploited. You cannot live within the lie of mutual benefit through integration when integration becomes the source of your subordination.
When integration becomes the source of your subordination. Can I explain to you what Mark Carney just said in our Jamaican street language understanding? Can I? Let me know. Because I cannot explain it in the way in international law for you. Can I explain it in Jamaica street for you? Yes or no? Because I don't know if you understand what Mark Carney has just said. And I don't know if you are aware that Donald Trump has just created his own United Nations, what he calls the Board of Peace. Because, everything that existed in the world, Donald Trump is trying to go around it and create a new Donald Trump world. I hope you understand that. Now, what Mark Carney is saying, America create a system where we know say it was fucked up from day one. But because we were partner in it and it benefit we go on with the lie, we go on with the corruption and the fuckery where America go on with all of this time. We turn a blind eye to the fuckery where America do. Trade, war, the influencing in other countries. He's saying no. We know it was a lie. We went on with it because it did benefit with to a point. It get to a point now where America, its own self, fucked up and exposed the thing. So, it don't make no sense for we follow the fuckery and protect the fuckery no more. When the fuckery don't benefit we and it implode pound in our face. That's what Mark Carney is saying. I hope my explanation is not offensive. But that's basically what Mark Carney is saying. Fuck this fuckery. We don't have to follow this rule anymore because we know it was a lie. We know nothing never go so. We only follow it because it did benefit with them. No, it don't. What's the point? If we get in a hit now, we only go surrender ourselves to and be subordinate to what America has become. That's what Mark Carney is saying to us, the world, but us Caribbean people, especially our country, which is following Donald Trump and Marco Rubio, cap in hand, without any explanation to we. This love affair with the Jamaica state and America under the Trump regime, we don't know what all these conversation and meeting is about. Why aren't we asking our Prime Minister question? Why is Kamina Johnson-Smith and Andrew Holnett not explaining anything to us? But me glad Mark Carney are telling us the Prime Minister of a country of the world, about the world's 10th biggest economy, is telling you this was a lie. This fuckery that we conjured up. Remember me always telling you, the international rule-based order is a gentleman's handshake. It's nothing laid down in law that anybody has to follow. It were the big powers after World War II, led by America, them come up with a system how we're going to run the world politically, economically, and financially. The Americans say, under their hegemony, the Western Hemisphere is my backyard and Russia should not interfere. Them time China never have the economic or military power what them have now. So they, even though when the nuclear proliferation thing come on, China then had nuclear, so they become a part of the major five in the world then that really run the world based on economy, politics, and war policy. So the deal was, especially after 1990 and the breaking up of the Soviet Union, whatever becomes the Federation of Russia, America was never to interfere in what the Russia Federation does. Russia was never meant to interfere in America's backyard. Now, America's backyard consists of the entire Western Hemisphere, including Europe. But what America did then, America said to Europe then, after World War II, use Africa to redevelop yourself. Now, what caused the Ukraine war in all of this? when that hegemony thing, America was never meant after the World War II Pact and the Oslo Pact to go further than East Germany with their NATO alliance. America pushed and pushed until they reached all the way up to Poland, and now they want to come into Ukraine. That's what caused that war. So this is how the world order was based then for those powerful countries. I do whatever I want to do in my spheres, and you don't interfere. Not so, though, for America. America has always been interfering, bringing on these heightened tension will lead to what we end up now into this multipolar system, which all of these countries are looking at America since World War II to now and say, this country does not uphold the rule of law, does not uphold democracy. It has been a rogue state. So we have to become powerful military and economically to guard ourselves from such a rogue. Hence, you have China becoming so powerful. You have North Korea. You have the re-emergence of Russia on the global stage. You have India developing into a superpower. Pakistan, Turkey, and everybody wants to become powerful. Hence, you have the BRICS come out of all of it. But the story is bigger. But I'm just trying to show you how the lie was structured. This same lie now that is falling apart in front of this generation. And what I want you to do is to take careful note, because sometimes when we see the things and it sounds far-fetched to know when we explain them because we have an understanding of it, we do some study into it or whatever, it sounds far-fetched to uno. But if you notice a lot of these things in geopolitics I've been speaking about for the last 3 years or 2 years, they are unraveling in front of our eyes. And I want you to take note of them because they have consequences for us. Why? Ask Darrell Vaz. Come here. Come here, Darrell. Ask Darrell Vaz, why is it you have lost so much weight so rapidly? Because I don't know, Mr. Vaz, if people notice that you're wearing wind these days, because your clothes, Darrell Vaz, they're blowing in the wind on you. So it look like you wear wind these days. People of Jamaica, ask Darrell Vaz, what's the rapid weight class about, please? What is wrong, Mr. Vaz? Morning. We don't listen to Mark Carney again, because I must understand. White people are exposed their own lives, not me, oh. Not me. White people, come on board. It's over. The veil has lifted. Over. Get it? Don't you see how brilliant Donald Trump is doing at pulling America down? When we tell you the lion is dying, but if you understand how the jungle works, a lion, the controller of the pride, never surrenders. It fights to its brutal death. This is America.
We knew the story of the international rules-based order was partially false.
Not
the
far
strongest would
Marconi,
exempt
lie.
themselves when convenient. That trade rules were enforced asymmetrically. And we knew that international law applied with varying rigor depending on the identity of the accused or the victim. This fiction was useful. And American hegemony in particular helped provide public goods, open sea lanes, a stable financial system, collective security, and support for frameworks for resolving disputes.
Collective security
So we
is NATO.
placed the sign in the window. We participated in the rituals, and we largely avoided calling out the gaps between rhetoric and reality. This bargain no longer works. Let me be direct. We are in the midst of a rupture, not a transition. Over the past 2 decades, a series of crises in finance, health, energy, and geopolitics have laid bare the risks of extreme global integration. But more recently, great powers have begun using economic integration as weapons. Tariffs as leverage, financial infrastructure as coercion, supply chains as vulnerabilities to be exploited. You cannot live within the lie of mutual benefit through integration when integration becomes the source of your subordination.
Now, let me address the obedient fools of Jamaica. Yeah, we have a lot of them. I mean, sometimes there's too much of them. And one would think the obedient fools are labor rights. No, they're Jamaicans. Obedient fools, labor right, PNP, independence. Those who said, me not care because I saw it still, better now go happen. What we fi do? A Jamaica this. I saw the thing set. I saw it run. You obedient fools. Continue. Continue to protect your political masters to your detriment. Because you see, this oil deal was signed under the PNP. This oil deal step up in game under labor right. Continue, Jamaica. You obedient fools. Continue to protect your political masters. Rather than asking the questions that would save your life, protect future generation, protect your generational wealth and your upward social mobility. Continue, you useful idiots, you subordinated fools. Continue. You don't wake up and know, Fisty say, there's no benefit in the subordination for us. None. No U-N-E, none at all. Continue. Idiots, continue. Because somebody is going to turn up one day and put a crown on your head. You obedient idiots. Anyway, I think I may have spent too much time on geopolitics, don't you? I think I have spent too much of my time this morning on geopolitics. Let's go to parity. Let's go to parity. You know that place in Southwest St. Elizabeth that doesn't really exist anymore as per the Minister of Agriculture or the MP for Southwest St. Elizabeth. Because really ever hear them grunt about it. The community is still in silent about it. Whenever time them get the opportunity to speak, hear nobody say, we not get no representation or no meaningful help from MP because there's an infrastructure problem in our community, both properties, houses and land, roadway. Not to talk about electricity. Water, we not hear one time the minister chuck water to it. But let me tell you now, one game when me think Floyd Green a play with party people to calm them down. Floyd Green and the Fisheries Department went to party today was Monday. I think it was about Friday. Floyd Green and the Fisheries Department went to party. If it's not Thursday, it's Friday. I'm not remembering which is the exact day, but it's around the weekend, closer to the weekend time day, yes. Went to party, him and the Fisheries Department, and they gave out about 300 rolls of fish pot wires. Friday, thank you. He gave out about 300 rolls of fish pot wires. No, it is a help, but it is backwards help. Let me explain to you why it is backwards help. We all know Parity is a fishing community. Everything around there is about fish. All right? Melissa mash up everything around there, about fish. Now, bringing fish pot wire, there's a lot that goes with just the fish pot wire. When you pin up your pot them, you need sticks, what we call pot sticks. You need lacing wire, someone call it binding wire. And we need nail, and we need rope, and we need cork. That makes the finishing fish pot that you can go see go put. But BUT, giving them that, there's no economic livelihood in the community. Nobody can go see. Everybody bought mash up, and so them don't have the rest of money. Them don't have the rest of money to contribute to that, to even do the complete fish pot we figure see. But before that, you're going to need your boat and your engine. All of the boat and the boat them severely damaged, where them need a lot of fiberglass work done. Most of the engine them seize up, them have to go buy back, trust back, or whatever engine. So we're going at it backwards, Mr. Green. What would be more beneficial is to assist them in repairing their boats and assist them not beg for engine. Them ask the government to give them loans. Them not begging. I'm sure you don't hear them say that before. They are not begging. They're asking the government, lend them loan so they can go buy back engine, help them to fix the boat, because Fried Green knows that in fiberglass material and the liquid and the dryer where them use and to repair them boat, the whole standard Parity and all of them something that if them get the fiberglass material fly, the dryer and the liquid, say do all the patchwork on the damaged boat them and alone for buy back them engine, that's how the fishing industry can restart, Fried Green. The fishing industry can start with rolls of wire where them not have nothing else to assist them in even making the fish pot. Never mind to carry the fish pot them go see. So coming with wire, veteran, how you do? Big up. Coming with wire, Fried Green, is a psychology been played on the people, because them just are going to have the wire them put on just so. Them just are going to have the wire them put down just so, Fried Green. Because they don't have money to buy pot stick, nail, lace wire, rope, cork, and even Fried Green. If they come up with the money to buy that, or them are going to get the pot them out of sea, because the boat them bust up and the engine them seize up. So it's a backward help, Fried Green. And it's psychology. Because you think so we're not going to talk to your teeth. Puss, puss, puss. On our teeth. And we're going to continue so on our teeth. Other than that, you need to tell we who are going to pay back the 65 million where the Auditor General so to pay back a rather. And you have to go tell we who from the Ministry of Health are you going to, if you are not going to resign, Fried Green, these are some questions for you. Are you going to fire your permanent secretary from the Ministry of Agriculture who have failed dismally? Are you going to fire your financial controller? Or are you going to fire the person that is responsible for procurement? Who is going to carry the can? but with money still missing, isn't it, Floyd Green? You know how disappointed a lot of us are, Floyd Green? Because we saw you as a future leader for the Jamaica Labour Party, because barring you now stained by Andrew Holness dog piss, we think that, boy, the whole a latrine, but you're the cockroach will crawl around the latrine cover rather than the cockroach that was stuck in the shit in the latrine. Literally like that. Floyd Green. But here you are, flowed from the seat of the latrine, Mr. Green, all the way head down into stale shit, Minister of Fish and Shit, Floyd Green. What happened to Southwest St. Elizabeth? Why have you not spoken of us in Parliament? Family Trike, Mr. Green? Mr. Green, who's going around suing people and calling people after his lodge lawyer been exposed as a sexual harasser. So the lawyer is a sexual harasser and the client is a sexual predator. What a luhala in our neck of the woods. Welcome to Parity.
As we continue our focus on the post-hurricane needs of the community of Parity in St. Elizabeth, this evening, Krista Campbell zooms in on the issue of water.
From no water to too much, residents of Parity in St. Elizabeth are drowning in issues since Hurricane Melissa swallowed up their shores on October 28, 2025. Almost 3 months later, they say they're still flooded daily. Blocked drains are part of the problem. Ponding is another.
Water two side. Sea
that's one of my cousin Ringo.
Hurricane Donangana sea still come over. Cross the road and go over the lake. Same way. So what we're going to do?
Like an evening time when the time it can get high, you see dash and it will come over.
And that's another cousin then.
Why the water not really get to jar.
For one family, it's created an indoor pool nobody wanted. This is the result of the community pond eating away at the foundation of this house, causing flooring in 2 bedrooms to cave under the pressure.
They bring a pond inside your house, behind your house, in your yard, your playground, where you would have your playground. You bring a pond in there, and no playground for the kids.
If you're just mentally strong, I'm just holding on.
Residents have been trying to help themselves.
If you come there, we have to dig like chin.
Yeah, like
and send back the water to the sea. And as soon as we do that, it'll fill up again.
So this appeal to the authorities.
Stand down, we need like some rock. Some heavy boulders,
Yes, Miranda, on both sides of my family, I come from a Wallara family. On my father's side, I have 19 uncles and aunts. And on my mother's side, some of them dead now, the one with 10 left from my mother and father's side, I think. And on my mother's side, I want a whole heap of them to about 10 or more. Auntie Bertha, Auntie Edna, Uncle Laurel, Uncle Edwin, Uncle Keeble, Uncle Gladson, Uncle Harold, Auntie Elda, Auntie Bell, one whole heap of them. So, as I said, the coastline is my entire family. The part what we call Windad or Windward, that's my father's side of family. And the part what we call Load is my mother's side of the family. So the entire coastline spans my family, both sides.
As we continue our focus on the post-hurricane needs of the community.
But most of the devastation you see on this side of the coastline, this is where my mother's side of the family lives. So all of these people are on this side of the coastline are related to my mother.
Of Parity in St. Elizabeth, this evening, Krista Campbell zooms in on the issue of water.
From no water to too much, Residents of Parity in St. Elizabeth are drowning in issues since Hurricane Melissa swallowed up their shores on October 28, 2025. Almost 3 months later, they say they're still flooded daily. Blocked drains are part of the problem. Ponding is another.
Water two side. Sea a come over. Hurricane done and gone and sea still a come over. Cross the road and go over the lake. Same way. So what we're going to do?
Like an evening time, when time it can get high, we see dash and then run come over and come back to the whole piece of water. So that's the reason why the water now really get the jar.
For one family, it's created an indoor pool nobody wanted. This is the result of the community pond eating away at the foundation of this house, causing flooring in 2 bedrooms to cave under the pressure.
They bring a pond inside your house, behind your house, in your yard, your playground, where you would have your playground. You bring a pond in there, and no playground for the kids.
You have to just mentally strong. I'm just holding on.
Residents have been trying to help themselves.
Sometimes we have to dig like chin.
Yeah, like one
and send back the water to the sea. And as soon as we do that, it'll fill up again.
So this appeal to the authorities.
Stand down, we need like some rock. Some, you know what I mean, heavy boulders, you know what I mean? We can fill up the water because the soil really eat out bad.
Everywhere, every house, people are trying to put on fine zinc over the lake, fine zinc all about to put on but zinc forget somewhere for sleep. Enough people still catch a people place for your sleep, and what we're going to do? We cannot do anything.
But this is you have to take off at least. Even here, if you can really set it back the right way.
Darren Linton says he, his mother, and sister each lost their houses in the hurricane. Besides the housing needs throughout Parity, he stressed water is most important. Empty drums line the roads in the community. Residents hopeful of the occasional distribution from water trucks. When there is no
One time since Melissa. Today we're how much a month now? November, December, January. 3 months now. 2 days. 3 months, 2 days to 3 months. And the 28th, which is the next 2 days, will be 3 months since Melissa. And only once Fly Green chuck water into the community. Once. Black Party people, Afiaga, Black River. Graceful people that are Black River, water come back to Black River resident. Graceful people that are Black River, so some Party people can go full up their water who can buy it. No drinking water. The one river in our community now becoming like, we have a river in our community named Cassie River, with Springhead, becoming like a party environment. Other people go wash, other people go bathe. The condition of the environment, the water not safe to drink now from that river. Barring we boil it and treat it. Why we don't get one of the something they pump down there for Fly Green? Why we never get one of the relief pump down there so to at least provide water to the community we're only left behind? Nobody don't remember Parity, and Parity people are suffering in silence as to why I don't know, but they are suffering in silence.
none, they either pay for trucked water or
Persons come to the areas and give us like the bottled waters. So we have water can drink, but we don't have any water to bathe, clean the house, wash dishes and clothes and stuff.
the residents lament that their kids are sometimes dismissed from school prematurely because of the lack of water. And so they appeal for government intervention, even as they call for dumper trucks to do a mass cleanup of the debris in the community.
Right. You remember on the 30th of November, Cousin Myrna's son, Jellan, who came down from Texas just after the hurricane, arranged a cleanup along with the other cousin, Kevar Bennett, who ran for councillor in the 2024 local government election. They arranged a cleanup of the community. They communicated with Floyd Green himself and through a community delegate of Floyd Green to be assisted with a truck to help to remove the debris from the community that they are going through the community cleaning up. None of that help was rendered. The Tuesday, Wednesday morning after that cleanup weekend, Mr. Green came to the press briefing. Mr. Green told us he spoke to his partners in the mining community, and he's going to send, he's already arranged with them for trucks to go to Parity this week, he says, to do the beach cleaning up in Parity to date, Floyd Green, the 26th of January. You have not sent those trucks to do any cleaning up. So TVJ still a report pan here, Floyd Green. So on a walk, me a walk and spread propaganda. The water Floyd Green at one time, one day, you took water into the community, but they're still protecting you. I don't know why. You may want to ask them when you buck them up.
Krista Campbell, TVJ News.
You may want to ask them. And they may want to ask you, what happened to millions in RADA assets? What happened to millions at the agricultural department when nothing is happening? When nothing is happening in fisheries, nothing is happening in agriculture. What happened to the $870 million, Floyd Green? Because if somebody gives something to you and you cannot show what you have done with it, it's missing. Missing things are stolen because you have not lost it. Because we don't hear of anybody comes to them pick it up a road, Floyd Green, so it can't last. Things that are lost is found. But things that are destroyed are never done. They are nowhere. And this is what is happening in your department. This is what happened under you, Floyd Green. Hence, millions have been missing from your budget. Well, almost $1 billion. Because when you put the 65 million from RADA with the 800 and something another million, you see how much you thief? Billion, Floyd Green. Billion, minister. You're all thieves. And if you hold on your head in a shame when we are calling a thief, when people are called thief, they enough to hold their head up. Let's go to the Ministry of Health. As to why Jamaicans just silent. But before we go to that, Andrew Holness, you know the STEM cream or whatever school them, where you take money from Canada, China, India, and everywhere, and all now we not see one of them. Look at talented, young Jamaican talented, you know, is a wonder them destroy education in our country and don't want invest and with children them because with children them are geniuses. I want you to look at the instrument them.
Gotcha. Woo! Yes, man. Yo, no tough, man. Yo, people see that right now, they're doing a real thing, you know. I work on something, that's what I do, you know.
Jamaica, all paint pan, all keg and all bucket, you know. These are the unnurtured talents in our country. These are the talents in our country that Ministry of Education stifle with the stealing and failure to implement policies that would allow our geniuses to create a better Jamaica rather than buying guns, putting at them on Horace Chang. Horace Chang, how much guns they are going to put in a Jamaica children hands, sir? Then you will see him one turn around other police to shoot them down, Horace Chang. How much guns are you going to put into the hands of Jamaican children rather than providing them opportunity, Horace Chang and Andrew Holness? Why do you keep putting guns into the children's hand? Let's go over to the Ministry of Death. You see, Gleaner, wait a minute, we got Gleaner first. The labor right them the other day I post on Facebook and I said the deaths in our country are being linked to the Ministry of Agriculture and the Ministry of Health. Because to say, when Ministry of Agriculture destroy the agriculture industry in our country, then they bring in plastic rice and GM potatoes, and God knows whatever else. Then that contributes to the health failure, does it not? And then when we end up in the hospital, if the nurses are able to look after us, if they're not being battered by Carl Bruce, then the nurse and plastic cabbage, then the nurses have nothing to work with to assist us. So we then end up dying. Gleaner now in an article yesterday is saying University of the West Indies procurement, our recovery, or a funeral. Is then Gleaner not coming around to what I have been saying? The running of the Ministry of Health and the procurement procedures are contributing to the deaths of Jamaicans. Because when these things get hold up in procurement or money go missing through the procurement methods, we come out as a loss. Our health suffers at a loss. How then is the Ministry of Health and Agriculture not contributing to the 15,000 deaths per year, not to mention 24 babies in 24 days by the ministry? How then? How so? Or are we just decent fools? Let's go to the fifth element.
Today, you're going vex with me, so come close and listen to me carefully.
What's up, guys? Check out the video.
Jamaica, today you're going vex with me, so come close and listen to me carefully. Let me say this plainly so nobody don't misunderstand me. This is not a healthcare crisis. This is a national surrender. Jamaica, billions of dollars are being announced, bragged about, paraded in budget speeches. And at the same time, nurses are stepping over bodies at Cornwall Regional Hospital. And if that does not shake you, Jamaica, you are already numb. The government of Jamaica say they've invested billions. The Minister of Health says major renovations. And the Prime Minister says, progress. But nurses are outside protesting because there are no beds, no chairs, no space. Jamaica, no dignity. Patients on floors, people waiting hours in pain, and emergency rooms packed like cages. So I'm going to ask you, Jamaica, a very simple question that nobody wants to answer. Where did the money go? Because Jamaica, you don't spend billions and end up with this. You don't renovate and end up with decay. You don't renovate and end up with protest. Jamaica, that math is not mathing. And please do not insult our intelligence with hurricanes and timelines or the it takes time speech. Jamaicans have been waiting for decades. And this system has been broken before any storms, before all the shortages, and before every excuse. So Jamaica, this is not about weather. This is about misplaced priorities and tolerated incompetence. Jamaica, let's be real. If this was a private hospital for the elites, this would never be allowed. Now, here is where I stop protecting feelings and nofa uno I go vex with me. Only a few nurses stood up. You see, the rest of Jamaica who has suffered and continue to suffer in these hospitals, they stayed quiet. No mass outrage, no public stand, no flood of people screaming enough is enough. And that, Jamaica, is the real emergency. Because now we are not just victims, we are willing participants. Yes, we have accepted the chair, we have accepted the floor, we have accepted the weight, and we dang sure have accepted the disrespect. And we say, at least it's free. Wanna just be grateful. I saw the thing set. It's just Jamaica. And that mindset, Jamaica, is what's unaliving us. Because Jamaica, you just don't die when the system fails us, you know. You die when we normalize that failure. So let me be brutally honest with you, Jamaica. Most of us Jamaicans did not join the nurses in the protests because we have accepted that this type of treatment and level of care is as good as it gets. We've been trained to endure instead of demand. We've been trained to survive instead of resist. And we've been trained to whisper instead of roaring. And while Jamaicans stay quiet, the system learns one thing. Yeah, man, they'll tolerate this. Now, every silent waiting room is permission. Every shrugged shoulder is approval. And every mind my business is a green light. Jamaica, this is not just about nurses alone. This is about all of us. Because today, it's the nurses protesting. And tomorrow, it's you, Jamaica, bleeding in a chair. It's your mother bleeding in a chair. It's your child bleeding in a chair. And don't fool yourself, Jamaica. No amount of money is going to save you when the system collapses. Not when there are no beds, not when the staff is burnt out, and not when the infrastructure rots. So I am going to say this without any apology. A country that accepts inhumane health care and treatment is a country accepting its own demise. You see, the nurses that stood up, they were not extreme. They were just honest. And so the rest of us in Jamaica need to decide, are we going to keep surviving quietly? Or are you going to finally admit that the system is unaliving us and silence is definitely
killing us. Silence. Where, may I ask, is the outrage? Why the silence? Where is the money? Who will be held responsible? Why is the people giving their consent to continued corruption? Why have been become an accomplice of the political corruption in our country? Why the silence? Where is the outrage? And to top it off, you do anything to give yourself an expensive funeral after you die in silence and pain. The horror of the silence of Jamaica. The earthquake is coming, you know. They have not done the job so well with Melissa. Melissa was a stubborn old brute. Tough-headed, never did the job though. Even when they wind Melissa Key up to the maximum, parity was meant to be worse than what you saw. Something else, don't you think, is coming? It's not just the people that are silenced. The government is silent and parity. The MP is silent and parity. Parity went to the cemetery in 2024. They choose a councillor. He himself may have gone back to the cemetery. Resting in peace. Perfectly. The people, though, suffering for even water in silence. Nobody is willing to say publicly, once since Melissa, 3 months now, once, only once, Fly Green has chucked water to us. Nobody. Nobody. But when me open my mouth, they attack my sexuality. They attack my brightness. They attack my qualification. They attack everything, barring the issue that plagues the community, the issue that are pushing the community off the edge of Jamaica at the moment. You don't see that? Winder than Lord silent, winder than Lord and meaty, stagnant water, mosquito, moles. What we never used to in our community. Moles just grow around on us. Nobody wants to face reality. Everybody is protecting Mr. Green. I'm calling on Andrew Holness and the MPs of St. Elizabeth to have a consultation with the people of St. Elizabeth. If it is that you're going to remove Black River from where it currently sits in its current state of devastation, then the people of St. Elizabeth ought to be consulted, Prime Minister. There are historical aspects of Black River which we would want to see remain, though your planned restructuring. But if it is that you're taking Black River down to Hodges, what are you going to do with our coastline from the Black River Hospital all the way to the Black River Bridge? Because it look like, sister, you're not able to get the whole of parity for the South Coast tourism development. So if it is, Prime Minister, that you're planning to remove Black River inland from that historic coastline, wharf that we have, and the river that runs sideways the tone. Don't you think you should consult us if you're pushing Black River from where it is? I don't know if I leave them land down a Hodges way there. You buy up for create your new city down there, so. But down a Hodges is not Black River Town Center. Black River Town Center upon the coastline there, so will never be Black River down a Hodges. So what is going to happen to our historical buildings in Black River, Prime Minister? We need a consultation on the redevelopment of St. Elizabeth. The people of St. Elizabeth is due that. At least that, a consultation where we can ask questions as to the restructuring of the instructor of the restructuring. We want to know the instructor. And if Anvas can help with, we want to know the restructure of the instructor of the restructuring, Prime Minister. So we're asking for a consultation. Even if you have it with me, one Andrew Holness. Yeah, we need to know the new Black River way our plan. Because we hear Young Cliff talk about something where we don't quite understand. And we don't understand neither, Prime Minister, why the rebuilding of our town center is a secret. Why the rebuilding of a town center in Jamaica is as, all right, you knock it down already. We know what we see. So you have to go build it back. Why the build back in is a secret. I can't go on about my business. I can't go on about my business. I'm in a better position than New York and Minnesota people right now. New York about -20. Minnesota about -30. Even though Minnesota people out there are protest against Donald Trump's latest killing. But let me tell you something. This summer is the summer that we're likely to see America engulf herself in flame. Because you have a stupid ass of a president who is not afraid to provoke the bear. And this president is poking that gun-saturated bear called the American populace. Gun-saturated president. If you yourself, Donald Trump, don't receive a bullet before November, America might just engulf, implode on itself, Donald Trump, before November. Thank you very much for being here with us this morning on Global TV. Where the money there? Where the money gone? Who responsible? Who's gonna fall for it? Why the silence? And where on earth is the outrage? Thank you. Good morning and good afternoon from Global TV.
Too long in our little ghetto, run keep going on, less process. For children of Israel do really love rights. So just as I and I as a watching man, I run Babylonian walls. Oh, children of Israel. I should never hold thy peace. What wrong is going on? Day or night. We gotta bust down Babylon walls. Prepare the way. Prepare the way for your people. Let's go. Fight down war and crime. Fight down. Me say Rastafari. War and crime. And do the righteousness. And we love. And we love Jaja. And we love Jaja.
Rastafari.
But we love Jah. We love Jah.
Jah Rastafari.
We love Jah.
Jah Rastafari. Preserve our people.
Put time away again. Listen, yeah. Just as I and I as a watchman, I run Babylonian walls. Oh, children of Israel, I and I should never hold thy peace, while we penalize day or night. We gonna bust down Babylon gates. Prepare the way, prepare the way for Jah Rastafari. Fight down war and fight down war and fight. Rastafari, war and crime, and build up righteousness. And we love Jah, and we love Jah. And we love Jah
Rastafari. Preserve all.
And we love Jah. Me love Jah. Me love Jah.
Jah Rastafari. Preserve all.
Me love Jah. Jah Rastafari. Jah Rastafari. Yeah, the next song is going to be the last song for tonight. And then DJ Twink.
If you don't like missing out on the latest shows but still enjoy classic hits, then Global TV Group 358 is your perfect match. Global TV Group 358 isn't just another channel, it's your ultimate TV experience. From breaking news to binge-worthy dramas and timeless classics, we've got it all. Our unique blend of original content and global favorites means there's something for everyone. And guess what? With GTVG's seamless streaming, you can watch anywhere, anytime. Plus, our interactive features let you be part of the action. So, whether you're a seasoned binge watcher or a casual viewer, Global TV Group 358 is here to keep you entertained day and night. Don't just watch TV, experience it with Global TV Group 358. Subscribe now and never miss a moment.